So go ahead and you'll lie down on your back. And once you're there, take a long body stretch. So just right away, you'll point your toes, reach your arms overhead like you were pulling your hands and your feet in opposite directions here, like so strong. Take a big breath in, like this big body yawn, and then even open up your mouth. Take your arms down along your sides and flip your palms down to the ground. Take your arms at like a 45-degree here. So they don't have to be right alongside you. But if you have the space, can you take up a little bit more of it? You take your arms out a little bit more and then bend your knees and heel toe your feet together, or sorry, apart rather than together. Your knees will knock together. So you find just a bit of internal rotation in the thighs, but then maybe that allows your low back to press into your mat a little bit more so you can take a breath in to fill up. And as you breathe out, imagine your navel almost draws down towards the ground. And it encourages that natural curve that you have in your low back, not to flatten out so much, but drawing your navel in just engages the belly a little bit more, but with the support of the earth. Take a breath in. Again, fill up. And a breath out, drawing the navel in. And then take your hands like crab claws and just wrap them around your ribs, one on either side. And as you are here, you can keep your legs as they are if that feels really nice and supportive, or you can split them and just keep the soles of your feet on the ground with a little bit of space between your knees, maybe in line with your hips. And we'll take a little bit of breath here. So you might even close your eyes so you can keep your awareness inwards towards your breath. And as you breathe in, I want you to think about expanding the ribs into your hands. And then as you exhale, notice how they contract and the belly engages a little bit more. Almost like an accordion, right? As you draw it out and in. Take a few more rounds noticing that. So as you inhale, you expand into your hands. As you exhale, you empty and the muscles in the belly contract a little bit more. A few more in and out. And consider on your last exhale here, like you were blowing through a straw. Maybe purse your lips a bit and make an audible sound as you exhale, like this. For me, that helps that expansion and then that really strong contraction as you exhale. So nice. Now you can stay here just working on your breath or just expanding and contracting. If that feels really grounding, you can stay. If you'd like a little bit more here on your back, hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. And keep a hold of your right knee and extend your left leg long towards the ground. And really let your left heel drag away from your body here. And then you're going to keep your right hand on your right knee and reach your left arm up and overhead. Now, imagine you drag your left heel just a little bit further and you reach your left fingertips even further. Opposite directions, of course. Take a full breath in. Can you get really long? And then as you exhale, bring your left hand to meet the right. Hug that knee in. And then you'll find a little bit of a supine twist here. So your right knee can draw across your body. And you can even use your left hand here Not so much to pull the knee down, that's not the goal, but rather can you create a support for it? So it could just rest on something and then reach your right arm out to the right and maybe your gaze follow. So your eyes can look at your right fingertips or over to the right. Now, if that's too much, you can always soften that twist a little, but take a full breath in, full breath out. Come back through center. Hug that right knee into your chest and then send your right foot up to the sky. So press your heel up here and find a stretch to the back of the right leg. Maybe twirl the right ankle in both directions. Fan out the toes. Take one more breath in right here. Feel the back of the leg. Lengthen a little more. And you'll bend through that right knee. Let the sole of the right foot come back to the ground. And your left foot comes to meet the right. So both knees are bent, arms down along your sides. And just a little bit of activation here, just to get your glutes working here, your quads fired up just a little more. Can you press down through your feet and just lift your seat? So bridge pose. Now, notice your arms are down along your sides here. So rather than out like before, down along your sides and press your palms down. And as you press down through your heels, can your glutes engage a little bit more? Take one more big breath in. And you'll slowly lower back down to the ground. Stay here in neutral or wiggle walk your feet wide apart, wider than your hips, and then knock your knees together. Now, this time, take your hands to the top of your thighs. And then wherever you are, whether your knees are parallel to your hips or they're drawing in and you have internal rotation here, I want you to take your hands to the top of your hips, like by your hip creases, or the top of your thighs, rather, and you'll press into that space, like press in, like you were pressing your bones, right? Your femurs away from your torso here. Notice how that creates a little bit of traction or maybe a little bit of space in the low back here, like a little gentle assist. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. Maybe even open your mouth. Long exhale. So nice. And then you'll wiggle walk your feet so they're back in line with your hips here. Send your right heel forward and hug your left knee into your chest. Give it a little squeeze. In. And then reach your right arm alongside your right ear. So imagine you're pressing your heel forward, like really drag it on the ground here, and then reach your right fingertips further away. So lengthening out the hip flexors, the front of the hips, with a little bit of strength at the same time. So if that right foot is activated and you really press down through the right heel, can your right fingertips reach further away from that sensation? Take one more big breath in, get really long. And breathe out. Now it's your right hand coming to meet the left. And you'll start to draw that left knee across your body here for a twist. Now, I like to just hold on to it gently, right? We don't have to make this the deepest twist ever. You might even consider your left hand reaching over to the left. Either gaze straight up towards the ceiling or look over to your left fingertips. Oh, this might be a strange cue, but rather than just letting that left hip like sink over towards the right, can you imagine your left side gets so long that your left hip is almost drawing towards your right foot, like towards the front of your mat? So you get really, really long here. Take one more breath in and out. And you'll slowly come back to center. Keep a hold of that left knee, hug it in for a moment, give it a squeeze, and then you'll send that left foot up towards the sky. Roll the ankle in both directions. Fan out the toes. Feel the back of the leg lengthen. Take one more breath in. And you'll bring the sole of that left foot back down to the ground. One last time here to take bridge. So arms down along your sides with the palms pressing down. Plant both feet and lift your seat up. Can you gaze straight up towards the ceiling? So imagine your chin lifts just a little, but the back of your head stays on the ground, right? Take one more big breath in. Can the glutes engage? And you'll slowly return to the ground. Pausing here. If you want that traction one last time, press your hands right in your upper thighs, like your hip creases. Press your hands away from your torso. One more big inhale. Full exhale out. Stay here, or you can heel toe your feet apart, knock your knees together. If you feel like you're craving stillness with your legs nice and long on the ground, like a traditional sort of like Shavasana like shape, you can take your legs long. We'll take just a bit of stillness here so you can close your eyes and maybe even consider placing your hands on your belly just to anchor on your breath. Noticing the rise and the fall. It's just like an ebb and a flow, that natural in and out. Leaning into this sense of stillness or this sense of ease or restoration. Knowing there's really nowhere else to be but right here, if even for the next 5 slow rounds of breath. Your last few rounds right here. Start to find just slow, subtle movements in the fingers and the toes. Maybe the wrists, ankles. And before we go anywhere, before we end in a seat here, I'd like you to take your right ankle and cross it over your left. So you'll just cross the ankles and reach your arms up overhead. Keep that crossing of the ankles and your left hand, your thumb and your pointer finger. And you wrap it around your right wrist. So creating a little bit of a like a bracelet on that right wrist. And then can you use that to almost lean you over to the left? You might even inch your torso, your arms, your head over to the left a little more. And can you use the crossing of the ankles here? Pull away from that. The right side gets really, really long. And then you'll come back through center. And then you'll switch. Your left ankle comes on top of the right. Switch the grip so you're holding onto your left wrist. Reach up, up, up. Get really long. And then you'll lean over to the left side. Like move your torso over. It's like you become like the shape of a banana, right? Like rather than the letter I, nice and long and tall and straight, you get to tip over a bit to the right. And then you come back up through center. One last big body yawn here. Point your toes, reach through your fingers. One big breath in. Open up your mouth, let out a sigh. Take your arms back down along your sides, bend your knees, and just roll to the side of your choice. Bring yourself to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall here, maybe hands to your knees or your palms come together in front of your heart. You might even bow your chin down towards your chest. Take a full breath in. Grounding breath out. Honor yourself for creating space in your day, to create a little bit more space in your body, space in your breath, hopefully a little more space and clarity in your mind. Thank you so much for joining me. You can blink your eyes open, take in a little bit more light. And